Martin, St. Matthews. I'll take that I heard so much about No. I don't know none of these stories. You don't know the story? Y'all just talking about last week. All right, go ahead, start with that. Then we go to Park. You know about Steve Harvey's story? You'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know ever. But you need to be on the radio. You gotta be informed. Jerome! Hey, hold on. That's you. The views and opinions that are expressed on WMSKOnlineradio.com are those of the guests, hosts, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, hosts, or advertisers. The shows founded on WMSKOnlineradio.com can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or personal practice. These shows are for entertainment only. Thanks for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Blue, September Heather, Tina Don.
So they're kind of Jackie Blue, September Heather.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Blue, September Heather, Tina Don. Jackie Blue, September Heather, Tina Don. Jackie Blue, September Heather, Tina Don. Jackie Blue, September Heather, Tina Don.
All right. Welcome to Between Friends on WMSK Online Radio, home of the show, under the morning show. So, let's get this out of the way. Focus Movers, affordable moving rates, fast and reliable service, free moving quotes, commercial and residential, local and long distance. Last second and emergency moves, locally owned and operated, and 24-hour call center. Call today. 443-506-7905 or book online, focusmovers.com. What up? It's your boy Peter Don. The nose is stopped out. I'm not really funny with it, but I can't hear anything.
Oh,
Because it's called dedication. Some of us in the studio have it. Some of us don't. Other people begging for rides today. All the buses go past their house. They still want to ride. because they don't know how to change the oil on their car. So the car broke. But anywho, like I do every week, even though I really don't give a shit. How was y'all weekend? Did you do anything interesting, fun, different? Didn't think so. You niggas is the born, I swear. Y'all old as hell or something. Y'all just have no life.
Maybe you just don't want to share it with
I can tell you what in September heaven was. Friday, she was at Sizzle.
No.
Saturday, she was at Sizzle.
No.
Sunday, she was at church. That's her weekend. Jackie Blue, I can tell you about her weekend too. She do the same thing every weekend. But I ain't gonna put her business out there, so I ain't gonna tell you that. But
Wrong.
But
Thank you now. Right, I had a good weekend.
now you get used to seeing somebody, you know.
So
You
Sunday.
get used to seeing people, you know, you see them. It's a routine, you see them. And then all of a sudden, the routine changes. Something changes. When you don't see them as often, or you don't even talk to them as often on the phone. And it's usually because of an involvement and their attention is somewhere else. Something just grabbed their attention, something new, like something new, something fresh. You know. When she's ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Until then, it's just speculation. It's allegedly. Where we like to use a lot around here, like September Heaven allegedly takes the bath. Allegedly.
You know what? You know, when the ignorance is, just let the ignorance go
I'm
forth.
sick, y'all. Y'all don't got no medicine in y'all.
No.
You
I don't even take medicine.
don't drink medicine? That's
Right,
what's wrong
or
with you.
some shady.
That's what's wrong with you. You stopped taking your med?
Come here and talking about some drugs.
People said he shot his first porno Saturday.
What did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
You got your little thing?
I went on, huh?
You didn't get your fix up there?
What's up? Fix up town.
I ain't got nothing for you. Your
I don't
drugs.
do drugs. Sorry.
What did you do this weekend? No.
Actually,
Lie, and
I ain't do too much. I worked Saturday. I got out Saturday. I went for a bike ride. I went around with some homeboys. And we went to, stopped at Loafers for a little bit. I had a couple of reviews, whatever.
Okay.
And then, that's it.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, I'm getting ready for a cookout for the man this weekend.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll be there.
So,
Wait a minute.
I had some stuff to
You,
do.
what? How?
If you don't know about this, because you probably wasn't invited.
Oh!
So,
Me? Can y'all believe that?
with that being
I wasn't
said,
invited. That's not even. I wasn't invited.
here's
I
why.
can't even believe
No,
you said
let me
that
explain
like
something
that.
to you that.
Oh.
Let me explain why I wasn't invited. Because the last time she broke the moon bounce. We told her that it was for kids. And she got in there anyway and flattened the moon bounce. And all the kids was crying. Man, that's why she wasn't invited this time. So,
Cookout crashes. Now we know cookout crashes. How many people out there done crashed the cookout? You know you weren't invited. You want somebody else's invite, trying to be a +1 at the cookout.
I have never done that.
Show up
I have
empty-handed.
literally-
No food. But the first one, drinking, packing up a plate.
I have literally never went to a cookout I wasn't invited to.
Yeah, right.
No, Richard,
I don't know.
I don't go places.
You went
where
as
I'm
a
not
guest with
invited.
someone?
No.
I don't know if I believe that.
I'm dead serious.
We can leave it like
I
that.
don't go places I'm not invited.
But I'm going to one.
That's why it's called invited for a reason. You ain't invited, you ain't supposed to be there.
Why not? If you go as a +1, you ain't supposed to be there? And I wasn't invited to. That's terrible. I'm crash that cookout.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't invite September.
I didn't really think about it. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh,
God.
oh, that's dirty. That's dirty.
I mean, do y'all think about me during the week?
Yes,
You know,
you're my brother.
you know.
I love you.
You think about it because we blood. We related.
So
That's
what?
why. Heather don't think about me during no week.
Oh my God.
She don't. She don't. That's why I didn't think that invite her. But Heather, if you want to come, I will text you the address when you get off there. You are officially invited.
How you feel about that? How you feel about being invited after the fact?
I didn't think about Heather.
How did you feel about that just now? Friends for over 30 years,
Terrible.
and you just gonna say I didn't even think about you?
Horrible.
See that? When is my birthday, Heather? Right. First of all, 13. June.
Yeah.
10 or something?
No.
You close. You close.
13?
No, it's after the 1. It's after the 10. It's after the 10.
11. There you go.
No.
Yeah.
But you
I
didn't
see.
know.
I was.
See?
Close. It was after that.
All you had to do is
It
say
was
I'm not
close enough.
sure, and I respected that more than the guy.
She knew
I
it
was
was
close
in June.
enough.
I respected that more than the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that you invited. And you don't even got to bring her.
I ain't. I ain't.
See, that's why I didn't invite her.
I ain't.
Because you
And it
always
better
want to
not be
bring.
no bull that you don't put together neither. Stuff ain't done. You know when people talk about the cookout start at a certain
It
time.
don't start till 6 o'clock.
You
start
get
at
that-
3, start at 6. Ain't nothing done.
Ain't
Oh, we
nothing
about
done.
to get it started, y'all. You said 3 o'clock.
If the grill ain't on, if you're dealing with a charcoal grill and that charcoal grill ain't on and popping 2 hours, 3 hours before you said it was gonna start, you behind.
3 hours? The charcoal be the one out.
No, you cook it. You cook it. You set it aside.
I got this, yo. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this.
That's
how
The
I
last cookout I threw that
My
you,
chicken.
the last cookout I threw that you came to when you got there was the food done.
Well, everybody got that late because they know you. Nobody get there on time. Oh, remember the incident that happened at the last cookout?
Hey.
Oh, no.
It ain't her though. It ain't her though.
And it was
It ain't
before
her
you.
though. Yeah.
And it was before. That's why I didn't get invited.
Oh.
No, that's right. I got some I
Oh.
That's why I didn't get invited.
I just invited one of my close friends, Peter, today. Just invited him. Like I wasn't.
Who you just invited? Ain't nobody asked you that.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean to me?
Nobody asked
Oh,
you.
I know what it is. Just bad memories.
Did you
of
get
a birthday
invited?
cookout.
Yeah.
All right, then shut up.
I gotta shut up.
Bad memories.
It ain't.
You got invited.
So what?
And
So I'm really shocked that you did not invite the September.
I didn't think about September.
That's
ever.
not right.
Like she, like you know how you had it.
I'm like triple book, but I'll do my best.
you triple.
Oh,
booked.
she said she is, but she'll try to do her best.
I don't care.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes,
really
you
don't.
did. Yes, you did.
I-
That's okay. I can't even believe
But,
it. was
okay,
that
so
shit.
big shout out. Big shout out to the boy DJ Fuji, who will be DJing my cookout.
Oh, Fuji the iconic.
Fuji.
Wow.
Fuji will be
All right.
in the building
Oh,
from,
that's what's up.
from 3 until
Oh, that's what's up. Okay,
I
Fuji.
you know, I got a few friends that are
Yes,
DJs.
yes,
It's busy time.
I was going to
evening,
ask you
everybody.
who DJ was. It's usually Dread.
Dread books. You know,
Well,
that was my first choice because that's my brother.
yeah,
That's my first choice.
yeah.
I called him. I said, "Dread, I need you." He said, "Bro, I got 2 gigs that day."
Oh,
I'm not gonna mess your money.
He's so popular.
He's the boy.
Yeah, he getting up there, next level
He
entertainment.
did
They
two.
rock,
He
they
did
rock
two.
to
He
the
had
top.
2 bookings last set. It was a bike wash, and then he went down DC and did another job.
And right after you left there.
Right after he left y'all.
Dang.
So yeah,
All right, Dre.
everybody, you know.
Dre, I also think it's time for us to have a new intro song. So if you listen, can you get that together, Dre?
He not on yet. He not on.
He not on yet. All right, tell me when he come back. Come on. I'm saying it again.
So yeah, that was the extent of my weekend. I was trying to get stuff done. Today.
All right. So what's on the menu?
Ribs, chicken, burgers, hot dogs,
Be quiet,
greens. You know, all the little stuff that then I got.
Greens. Wait a minute. Let me ask
Who making the greens? Because you know you cannot hold on. You telling people not to bring food. And who's supplying the food? Who's cooking?
Sure.
So when did black people?
Only person that's bringing something is my friend Nadine is bringing Jamaican food.
Okay.
So it's going to be some Jamaican stuff.
Okay.
So what? Black people having like collard greens and macaroni and cheese and cookout.
Yeah.
And cookout.
Yeah, girl.
And then, you know, the normal stuff, potato salad, you know, pasta salad, macaroni salad, beans,
Double
you know,
eggs.
double egg, all the stuff you would normally have at a cookout.
We gotta have the double egg.
That shit is not fancy.
It's, and then it's supposed to be
Somebody
nice.
fancy.
The weather supposed to be nice, supposed to be 82 degrees.
Yeah, it's supposed to be hot.
Supposed to be nice out. We're going to put the tent up.
Okay.
Got the tent. And then as the lights go down, we got tiki torches and all that around the yard. And all
Oh,
that. We got bonfire joint. It's gonna be nice. So, like, y'all will come.
It does seem
and
like the
y'all
other don't it?
y'all
Not the
gonna
same
chill.
kind of setup.
No, this is way more space. It's just come.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Just come. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, yeah, you don't
I'm not doing
fireworks.
fireworks because it's Memorial Day. It's not a firework thing.
You did fireworks?
No, I did not. That was for the 4th of
That was
July.
4th of July cookout?
Yeah.
I thought it was Memorial Day.
Memorial Day is not a firework
He had power.
occasion. No, I did not. I did not. That was the 4th of July. They don't tell me.
Whatever. We'll be there to get the food. Free food. We ain't got to bring nothing.
Yeah, free
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
So what's the time?
3 until.
Oh, okay, well I got
Jump
you
in
for
the
that.
liquor.
3 until.
Yeah.
But it's BYOB.
I don't drink
For
anyway.
those that drink, it's BYOB because I want to enjoy my cookout. I don't want to be serving drinks all day. So bring your own liquor. Something special you want to drink, bring it. Then you have your shit there for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to have like beers and stuff. Maybe some weird stuff. But I'm not just lying
Well, I'm not even thinking
for the
about
whole cookout.
That's what you drink.
being so.
Nigga,
I think I got a bottle. Oh, I got a bottle of my
I ain't with
Scotch.
all
Where in your car?
No.
Alright, so what we got? What we got?
Oh, you know Billy drunk that whole bottle of that
No, he
passion
didn't.
fruit Moscato. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I didn't even get to taste it. He drunk that whole bottle.
That's because he was
Black
They want to
thirsty.
say it was so good. How you want to just drink the whole bottle?
Black people.
The whole bottle.
Black people.
That was from that dry spaghetti he made.
He was on here too. He know they don't.
That dry spaghetti he made.
He hooked it back up though. He put the sauce on it.
Yeah, he did.
He put the
He
sauce
turned
on
it
it.
around. He turned it around. Yeah.
So go ahead.
What's on the menu?
Well, last week we touched on the story about, and there were a few kids, one in particular, a child who was allegedly kidnapped and murdered by the mother's boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and they arrested him, they found some evidence, so on, all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk about just that whole situation of leaving children or introducing your children, especially that young, infants, school-age children, with your current boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, your boyfriend's mother who you don't halfway know, or your girlfriend's sister and all of that kind of stuff. Just that whole thing. Because not to say it's a new thing that we've seen, but it's getting more and more serious, whether it's sexual assaults, whether it's kidnapping, death, trafficking these young people, and giving these people access to your child.
Right.
Like what is going on? What are you thinking? What are these situations where there's absolutely no one else? And these seem to be not the biological parents or any type of blood relative where these things are going on. So I wanted us to discuss that
Okay.
first. At which point in time, I mean, you've felt the person out, you spent time with them, you may even have moved them in or you moved in with them. Whatever the circumstances are, do you feel that, okay, I think that I can be comfortable enough to have my children around this person that I'm dating, going with, in a relationship with?
When is the appropriate time?
Right, or what do you think should be some of the things that people should look at, think about, consider before introducing them to someone that you're dating, before bringing them into your home, before actually everyone cohabitating, or you leaving them? You leaving them with that person because you're, going to the store, you have to take care of business, or maybe your shifts, your work schedule is different than the other, and you need to leave them there, or when they get home from school, the other person, your significant other is there, you're not home yet. At which point?
At no point.
What?
No point. Not at least for at least 6 months.
Then that's the point.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm trying to read this.
So you put a time,
Yeah.
you put a time frame on it. So
Not so much a time frame, Heather. I would say you had to be very, very comfortable with this person. Like, very comfortable. You had to be on their grounds at some point in time, see how they living, see how they get along with individuals around them, see what the people are like that's coming in and out of their house before I just bring you around somebody as precious as my child. Like, I can't do that. I think a lot of women do it out of desperation. They don't want to be by themselves. So that sometimes they feel like the child is a hindrance. If I have this child, I can do what I want to do. I won't have to worry about A, B, C, and D. But you had that child, so that's your first priority. You gotta make sure that child is safe. You can't just be bringing any and everybody out your house. My mother always told me, my mother or my grandmother, everybody can't lay in your bed. You just can't. People ain't clean. I mean, it's a lot to
What
that.
you gotta do to bring around your kids?
Because you bring stuff with that. Not just, you gotta bring everything that comes along with them. Around your kids? No, you don't do that. You don't do it. Fix your face.
I'm just trying to figure
I'm
out
serious,
what you're
no.
talking
I just said what I'm talking about.
about. You love me.
No, I didn't.
I feel like this.
Some people is desperate.
I feel like this. You bring. I feel like you should be able, like, you are grown, you're an adult. At some point in your life, you have to be able to read people, to understand people, and look for signs. If you're not one of those people that look for stuff like that, you're not going to determine the time when it's safe to bring somebody around your kids. Put it very clear. If your main focus is just the relationship and being with that person, so that's what your focus is going to be. It ain't got nothing to do with. It's not going to have anything to do with your kids. Your focus is the relationship. So, with that being said, you're not gonna. It's gonna be almost immediately okay for you to make it because you want a relationship.
when I talked with some people about this, they were actually talking about situations that they were in, or close friends and family members of theirs, people they went to school with. They were in situations where they told their mother about the boyfriend. She didn't believe her daughter about the boyfriend looking at her, making comments about her, touching her, inappropriate things. And they just had to live with it. They had to deal with it, even if it's under the same roof.
So It was some of that Popeye shit.
Shut
Don't try to hide it.
up, Antonio.
Orange and white back.
Whatever. Look, I'm hungry.
Oh.
And
Well, so we got some people. One person said, Eric said never. Marissa said it takes time, and people have wonderful acting skills.
Correct.
well, I mean, he may be thinking never as in while his child is very young, maybe as the child is older and can
Eric, can you elaborate on your never?
elaborate. Maybe can tell things, talk about things,
I don't feel
express
like
themselves in a different way than what an infant or a child
Yeah,
can.
I believe when they young like that, no.
Yeah, I believe
When they
that.
young, no. When they can't talk and say a complete sentence, no, you can't come to my house for my kids did. No, you're not doing that.
you got eat chicken ravioli.
What?
You got eat chicken ravioli.
Shut up.
And that's a point. And it's not because, like how you said, some women, they're desperate, they're needy, they don't want to be lonely, they want to keep the relationship.
Is it women or is it men and women?
I think it's men and women. I remember someone had made a post about this girl that they knew, and she said that when her boyfriend would have his baby, with them, not her baby, but his baby from another relationship, she would be pinching the baby and stuff, and like doing sneaky stuff like that to the child.
Really?
But people don't like to believe children anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
children don't lie no more than what adults do, so I don't know why people wouldn't. But sometimes you can tell when somebody's, behavior changes when certain people come around.
Right.
When certain things, they're not comfortable with certain things. And I think a lot of times people look to this with a man that's in a relationship with the mother, because now you're dealing with, a girl, and as she's developing, it's already an awkward time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenging time. But then it's this grown man that's not my father, being close to me
Mm-hmm.
in the same home, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even know if people have a conversation about that with their significant other, or setting boundaries, or telling the children, look, I don't care who it is
We
that
wouldn't have this problem. We wouldn't be talking about this. If you know fast asses, you just stay with your baby fathers.
What? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen,
That's not
Right.
always a good situation.
bringing stuff, people around your kids and all of this, we wouldn't even have this conversation if you picked the right baby father the first time. With your little fast ass out here. Pick the right baby father the first time, you ain't gotta worry about bringing no other man around your kids, because the man that made the kids will be right there.
Or he can still be right there,
Just because y'all not in a relationship don't mean he still can't.
be involved, be
Be involved.
concerned,
Alright, I ain't talking about that. That's
be
not what I'm talking
visual,
about.
be
visual,
present,
be present,
present
exactly.
and
the first
available,
time,
present and
we ain't gonna
available.
open this can.
Oh, we gonna open it. We
We ain't
going
gonna open
there.
this
We
can.
going there.
Because
You already
the
opened
first
it.
time a baby father say, look, I don't want your friend around my door. Oh, this my house. I have who I want in my house. Right, exactly. So don't act like that conversation don't happen.
Hey,
If a father can be there, can be around, can be involved in his child's life, but as soon as he says something that the woman feel like he's trying to be in control of her house, then it's a problem.
I understand that, and I know that does happen.
Right.
that does happen.
That does
Exactly.
happen. But see,
Exactly.
that's the woman who you have a child with, and it has to be an understanding where I still got concerns. I see things from a male, perspective, and I just want to be sure if this person is going to be around my children, that they are going to be,
Yeah, Antonio, I responded to that. So we got a couple of responses here. So Marissa says it also has something to do with attachment. What What if the person isn't the one and the kids get attached?
How many niggas you can go around them this year? Damn. That's what I wanna know.
Sometimes that happens when the child is really at any age. You know, you're together and you have a strong bond. You know, you develop a strong bond. You
How
have
old is the kids?
memories, and then
How old
there's
is
a
the kid?
breakup.
Because little kids forget stuff. Little kids. These teenage kids.
I don't know. You got some big
yeah.
kids that can be like, I remember.
Okay,
He can remember some stuff.
okay.
You
I
know,
remember my mother had 2 boyfriends. Bro.
And mommy ain't really.
My mother, I can count on one hand how many dudes I seen in my house. My mother had 2 boyfriends. Her life that I know of that ever came to the house. Now, what she was doing on the street, I don't know. But my mother, I only seen 2 dudes come to my house outside of my phone. And that's it. And for real, our interaction wasn't that. Like,
Because you was leaning back.
I liked one of them, the other one I just didn't care for.
Who did you like?
Trip.
Oh, yeah, I think that was
Mr. Trip was the man. You know what I'm saying? I just did,
Does it work out?
it just didn't work out. I didn't leave no sleep over it. And I did.
I don't have it until now. So then Lisa said, sure, but some men try to spite the woman when they break up.
Trying to spike the woman.
Lisa elaborate.
Don't elaborate, Lisa. You're doing too much.
What? Why do you say that?
Who's spiking what with somebody else's kids? How does that even happen?
No, I think she's responding to when we were talking about, how sometimes the women, men can be, what was the poem talking about? I forget. It's gone. I had it. It's gone. But anyway, so Eric said to clarify, I think it is wise to leave a child around a significant other before the age of 16.
it's not wise. Is that what he says? It is wise.
To leave a child
Typo.
around, probably not wise.
Right.
To leave a child around a significant other before the age of 16. I don't know.
This conversation just.
I don't know.
I mean, it can,
It
it
goes-
depends
And
if
so many
the
it
significant
goes so
other,
many
if that
different
relationship is leading to
Because-
marriage and you living in the same household, so if it's moving towards that level of commitment, this person could be your step parent.
It has a lot to do with the parent too. It's not just the dude that you're dating or the female that you're dating. How many people have you dated this year? How many people do you date in a year on an average? Like, how many serious relationships have you been in the last 5 years where you keep introducing your child to these different people? Like, it's the parent. Like, what kind of parent are you? Like you saying talking about what's too soon to introduce. Parents, get your mind right, get yourself right together and straight forward and know what you're trying to do before you worry about how soon should I introduce you to my kids.
Well,
You don't even know
like I
what
said,
you want in life, but you worried about introducing somebody to your kids.
So
And
let
if
me
this
put it
person
like
is going to
this.
do something to your kids, what are you looking for? How many people have you dated this year? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think those are the questions that are more important to me than when it's too soon to introduce somebody to your children.
I think if you just start to date somebody, that's too soon. Because you don't even know if you want to continue the relationship with that person. So what's the use of introducing your kids to them? What?
So do they
What
creep?
purpose
So
does it serve?
do they creep in the house when they come over, or do you wait till the kids are asleep?
Y'all get a hotel room.
Y'all just turn the TV up real loud.
I get a babysitter. Pay for a babysitter.
How old is the kid? They can watch this shit.
All that is a factor. It depends. If they older, yeah. Want this? You pay. But if you
At some point, you either gonna take the high road, and that's wait out for everything, which means wait out for the booty, wait out to introduce the kids, all that, wait it out until it's appropriate time,
For what?
or you gonna freak off and wait till the kids go to sleep, and maybe somebody catch them on the way down the steps in the morning, trying to slide in. You see what I'm saying? You know, or on his way to the bathroom in the middle of the night, run around, peek out the door. Who is you, mister?
So I know part of the reason why this conversation came up again is because did y'all hear about the little 3-year-old girl that was molested by the boyfriend once again, another story, molested by the boyfriend and she died, I think, this morning. He raped her and she died in the hospital today. First of all, I don't understand that. Like, what is attractive about someone that is 3 years old? What is attractive to a grown man about a 3-year-old? Like,
Well, sometimes it's not even about that, you know, sometimes it's just, you know, you just wanted control of some type. Why, and then, I don't know if this was this also his child, or was this just a child of his,
just a child and
a child of his girlfriend? You know, all of this getting back at, my ex, or, getting back at, the person who I don't want to let go of, or I don't want them to leave me. You know, it's just like that. Oh, we broke up, but can we meet up and talk? No, we ain't meeting up and talking, because lately that meet up and talk has resulted in people dying. You know, so it's the same thing with still allowing somebody to have access to your child. Now, I don't know, getting back to what you said, be how much time you spent with this person, what your mindset is. And some people can hide some things, and sometimes people don't want to see things that are right in front of their face.
that's true.
They don't. Some, you know, how did you meet this person? I had my reservations about, you know, online dating and things like that. I just haven't heard many success stories to come out of it. Or maybe we only hear of the unsuccessful ones.
Right.
And it's very, you know, difficult. People try to keep relationships intact. And it does take, you know, a lot of work, a lot of, you know, sacrifice, communication, so they say all that kind of stuff.
So they say.
So.
That's why she's single.
By
That's why she's single.
choice.
That's why she's single.
By choice.
One of them stupid cuckoo, man.
By choice.
Schizophrenic, bipolar.
And you got all of these things going on, and then you get, you know, in a sexual relationship with them, and then that's another factor now. And that's another way, you know, to lure somebody in and have them attached to you. So now you got all of these things going on. Probably on top of nobody really teaching you how to be in no relationship, or how to deal with issues that come out in a relationship, even when it comes down to, you know, disagreements and arguments and things like that. So, like he said, you really got to check yourself. You know, your mind has to be ready for it.
Wait, say that again?
I said you were right.
Yeah, I thought you.
You got to check yourself. I agree.
Oh my gosh.
I agree.
I thought we were coming in.
You do have to check yourself, and not just because so many horrible things could happen. You can't control what somebody is really gonna decide to do, or just how they're made up, messed up in their head. But it could just be, you know, issues that you can't be faithful. You just don't know how to keep it in your pants. You don't know how to keep your drawers on. You don't know how to do that. But yet you out here fake and phony, trying to seek relationships when you know that's not what you want. Not what you want. So don't do it. And at the same time, the people around you, you know, people people around you always talk about when you, why not, how come, but what about this? You ain't never think about them, or how about them, or what about all of this kind of stuff, and they're saying that just for appearances. And like you said, Jackie, just to be with somebody, so I'm not lonely,
Right.
or just to take anything and just settle for whatever. Now, you've heard this person talk all your life about the typical mate or what they need as they get older. They learn about themselves.
Right.
And then you see who they end up with. You looking at them like, what the heck is this? And then you got somebody that says, oh, well, they look like they happy as long as they happy. Is that what it is? As long as you happy? I don't know. But it's a lot to think about. I would just say that people, men and women, need to be very careful of who they associate with, period. Especially who they allow to have access to their children, their intimate surroundings, whomever is around. And listen to the people who know and love you and care about you. Sometimes it's not that they're jealous. Sometimes it's not because they hate you and they just don't want to, they feel like the relationship they have with you is threatened. Sometimes you need to listen to them. Sometimes you do. And sometimes you gotta say to them or just give them the side eye like,
What you doing?
I don't know about them.
What you doing with us? You know better.
I don't know about them.
Yeah, that's true. And then sometimes you also gotta give a person space to make the wrong decision.
That's true.
Sometimes you can't be so wrapped up in their life
Mm-mm.
and you giving them all that attention and you angry and they
But
living their life.
But I also don't want to hear about it.
Absolutely.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
can't, be a counselor and be sitting up listening.
Because I'm going to start charging.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to start
All
charging.
right. Well, we're gonna take a break and pay some bills, and hopefully when we come back, we can spice it up a little bit. Y'all see.
We can already talk about.
We be
We
back.
can already talk about.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then all of a sudden you have
It is retarded.
I don't give a shit.
Nothing to add to shit.
What did you do? What did you do? First of all,
Hallelujah.
We're here to help. We are the
Yes.
You don't want me to go school. You don't know shit about school.
Better terms.
I be talking to myself.
No, you wouldn't. And so what? Run a second.
And learn how to help you.
Y'all ain't talking.
Shut up.
800-297-9152.
Same shit. No new
10
developments.
grand
Just
of
put it back up for the
credit card debt.
Is there a new
And
development in the
you'll
store?
learn how you can
brought it up.
and get out of debt
Okay, you then you bring us
faster.
something
Right
right now.
800-297-9152.
I remember that. There's a measles outbreak.
800-297-9152.
That is so
No,
old.
no, again.
That is so
Now,
old.
it
Nobody
was
was talking
It was
about
86 cases, now it's 164 cases. It
It's not
doubled
new.
in a week.
Main Street Business
What?
Loans has pre-approved to release
That's not new, but you don't talk about it.
We did talk about it.
Yeah, you did.
We did.
Yeah, we did not.
And I held up the picture of the little boy with all the
You look like you get the measles right
Shut
goddamn now.
Underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to
Pay off some money,
$250,000
play
to do it.
one of his
Your
songs.
funds can be
Who's
released in
that?
30 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just
Okay,
quick
the music
access
is
to
out
up
on
to
the thing right there.
$250,000.
Oh, it's not.
If
No,
your
it's
business did
not.
not receive your
I don't
approval,
even know who that.
$250,000.
I'm about to show you.
Call Main Street Business Loans.
What's his name? I don't even see him.
800-430-8785.
Happy 7. He ain't got no solo on it.
You do got some.
800-430-8785.
But if you brand, you know that.
8785.
All right, Antonio, you want him?
Ain't no after 7 songs in it.
Right, Marissa.
Ain't no after 7 songs in it.
Because the best prices are not
That's
online.
Put in the name of the song. I'll say it.
See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. so you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. Would you get money to save and another trip? Or
Agitate like
I'm telling you, this playlist, it's not even coming up. It's nothing. I searched instrumentals.
One of our
Nothing came up.
expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
That shit.
No, I didn't say that. It's good. You got the
It's your turn, nigga. It's almost 10 o'clock.
One of your co-hosts of Between Friends. Listen to us live on WMSK 49 Radio. Mondays,
I
9
had a stroke a
p.m.
couple years ago. I guess it was complications from that.
Stroke again.
Yeah.
Who? Who has who?
Now, what's the song? Next song? Ready or Die. That's it. Right, that's it. Ready or Not.
And welcome back to Between Friends on the Cheryl Underwood. On WMSK Online Radio Home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. State versus Us magazine. Your official source of the streets from prison, highlighting high-profile cases, corruption in the police department, government, prison system, wrongful convictions, and success stories of the former incarcerated. If you or someone you know has a story to tell, want a feature or ad space, please email State versus Us magazine at gmail.com. Get your print or digital copy today at stateversususmag.com. Yeah. So, it's like got another funeral to go to this week. Steve Harvey, he didn't die, but his show was still here. So Steve Harvey got canceled. Basically, so I told you, I tried to listen to his radio show in the morning. He's everywhere. He's all over the place. 1 minute he's cussing you out. The next minute he's trying to uplift you and get you baptized in the same paragraph. Like, I've listened to his radio show a few times, and I feel schizophrenic when I'm finished because I don't know whether to be mad, upset, saved, sanctified, or have a cult ritual in the car. I don't know. But you'll do everything in the same show. And they cuss you out. They make you laugh though.
So this is his talk show. The one that come on that
Yeah, the talk show, the TV.
Taping, and then his what's that little big shots got. It didn't get canceled. He got replaced. So the show is going to continue. Both shows are going to continue. Well, his talk show, they bringing that country singer with
Kelly
Clarkson. She's going to have her own talk show. So she's not taking over. She's taking Steve Harvey's time slots. So his show basically got canceled. Then Little Big Shots, he got replaced with Melissa McCarthy. So you know who that is, right? Melissa McCarthy. So he got replaced with
Jenny
her.
McCarthy.
Said Melissa. Melissa McCarthy. So he got replaced with her. But so some other stories that I read about it. He yesterday morning, while I was getting ready for church, I was listening to some guy, I don't know who it was. But he has a talk show and he was talking about the whole Steve Harvey thing.
Okay.
And he was saying, because Steve Harvey had put out a comment that he thinks that he got canned because he brought Monique on his show. And you know, supposedly Monique was blacklisted. So he brought Monique on the show. They had a conversation. The conversation got heated.
It did.
Yeah, it really did.
I saw it.
So
Did
the
y'all see it?
yeah, I saw it. So the conversation got heated.
I thought he was trying to cut it off. I thought he was actually trying to cut it off so she didn't go into a lot of detail over the whole, if y'all remember the controversy behind
Yes.
her promoting the film Precious that she won an Oscar for.
Is that what it was about?
That's what she is saying, yeah.
I thought it was about the Netflix thing.
No, the initial,
When
Why we
Netflix
didn't
didn't want
see
to pay
her.
her no money.
right, no, but
She
why we
wanted
didn't
more
see
money.
her for so long was
She
because
got blacklisted.
she got blacklisted for not wanting, allegedly not wanting to promote Precious. That was the start of it. Then when she was
But
on
look at
her,
Precious name. Look at Precious name. Precious grew up. She's a big executive secretary for a big major label. She works with one of the most powerful families in America, the Lions.
Oh my
You understand? Look at Precious. Look at what all Precious did with them. Let
That don't have to
Precious
do with
be a learning experience to us all. Her mother whooped her ass with pots, pans, and did she get her? Did she hit her with a full amount of TV on that movie? Or something. She hit her with something big. But look at Precious now. Precious got a boyfriend, a good job, making money. She dressed nice.
but anyway,
Keep herself together.
so then it was the Netflix deal, and we still don't know. I don't remember hearing anything from Netflix. They didn't
they
confirm
never
or
confirmed
deny
or denied.
anything like that, but I know that she's been back on her stand-up tour out Vegas when I was out there.
What was Netflix supposed to say?
Well, Netflix just didn't have a comment.
Right,
I mean,
that's all I'm
sometimes they make a comment, sometimes they don't.
What was they supposed to say?
Not really.
They pay you what they think they want to pay you, and that's it. You can take it or you don't.
Right,
It's
so
Netflix.
she,
But
so,
I mean, that was a legitimate right for her. She felt as though she should have been paid more money, and
Why?
that was okay for her to say that
I wanna
because she's a
know why.
legend. That's
I
why.
wanna
so why can't you ask
Why
for
can't
more
you
money?
ask? Why can't you negotiate?
What was everybody's
But you
issue
can't get-
Exactly.
about her
But you-
asking for
for
more
more money.
money?
But no, that wasn't the issue.
Why was everybody
That wasn't the
crying
issue.
about her asking
That
for
wasn't
more
What
the
was
money?
the issue then?
The issue was if you go back to the table and you ask for more money and you still get denied, you cannot made a big deal out of that. You can't say, well, I think I work this. Obviously, this network doesn't want to pay you that. So either you want to take what they're going to offer you or you not. It's like any other job. It's like any other job you apply for, or they recruit you. They make you an offer, you sit down at the table, they make you an offer, either you will take the offer or you're not. She, in her mind, felt like, oh, they're doing this because I'm a black woman. Nah.
No, I don't know what their intention is.
Not. I just think that they didn't feel like you were a Dave Chappelle. You're not a Chris Rock. You're not Bernie Mac. You don't have the following of these people.
Was she being compared to them?
She
Do
was
you think
compared-
Netflix was?
She was comparing herself.
Did the comparison, or did she
What
compare
it was is she was mad.
herself?
I think it was some new
Right, Marcus.
comedian, black lady comedian that got
Wanda Sykes.
got
That's who she was.
got more money than her. And she wanted to
But
know
this is the
why
thing,
they
you gotta
offer Wanda
realize
Sykes
that.
more
But
money than her.
Wanda Sykes is a crossover comedian. She
Exactly.
is both black and white. She draws a bigger crowd. than
Wanda
Monique.
Sykes
While Monique is a legend in our eyes,
In the hood.
black community,
in the hood.
not so much with white people.
Right.
Not so
Well,
much.
She's in the hood.
I've always wondered, and I never could understand this before I knew about the whole controversy with her, Lee Daniels, and Oprah, and what took place. And then I think there was something where Tyler Perry was in on one of the conversations, and apparently he got caught allegedly in a lie
Right.
about his involvement.
Mhm.
All
From
of
getting
them,
her blacklisted.
all of them.
Blacklisted.
Yeah, I mean, and it
Oprah was supposed allegedly.
it was shown.
involved
No,
in-
it was shown and proven that Tyler did falsify some information and did speak against her.
Yeah.
However, all before I knew about any of that, I always wondered, okay, you have someone who, from the bottom up as a comedian. I personally think that she is funny. You know, I've laughed at her jokes. I've seen her comedy. I remember when she had a comedy show here in Baltimore and going to Monique's Comedy Club.
Oh, yes, I remember going in.
Even the fact that she had a hit television show.
Hey, Louise.
She had hits.
The Parkers.
She had hits as far as movies that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular movies,
Like what?
i.e. Precious.
Okay.
And she got an Oscar. I believe in a Golden Globe. And
She got a couple.
and some, but the Oscar is up there. That's the goal of most actors and actresses, to receive that award.
Right.
So you get all of these things. Remember, she had a successful best-selling book.
Yeah.
You know, all of this was going on early in her career. And I said, I wonder why she ain't host Saturday Night Live yet.
Well, you know.
Can you name a black woman who has? Did I miss somebody who has hosted? Has Wanda Sykes hosted? Anybody else before her?
I can't think of anybody.
Now, as far as performing as guest or being a featured person, but I'm still looking for us. Yes, Wanda Sykes is
What's the point?
hold on, she's a big crossover star.
Right.
She does a lot of producing, a lot of writing for a lot of shows, TV shows. But I was just wondering, was all of this coming from back with the whole Precious situation?
No.
Like
Plus, Monique, a lot of people have said Monique behind the scenes is nasty. Like she
a lot of them are.
Right.
A lot of
So,
them are divas.
so when people don't want to deal with you, that's what they do.
Okay,
They start.
But again, but
to the side.
who's saying this and who's doing this? Because she still has
Whoopi
work.
Goldberg. Nate said Whoopi Goldberg hosted.
One.
Mark is saying because she messy.
She's done other things, but what makes her messy more than anyone else who could have been messy?
Because you like Steve,
But we don't
tried to tell her.
But we don't know.
Like Steve Harvey tried to tell her. She didn't want to listen because she felt like.
What did he tell her?
He
I felt that they didn't get anywhere. And
They
Whoopi
really did.
And
They
on the
really
view,
did.
and on the View, Whoopi cut her off
Tiffany
when
Haddish.
Whoopi cut her off when Monique said, "You wouldn't have accepted that. That's not how that works. For that little bit of money." And Whoopi was like, "Well, I would have talked to you about it, and we
Should have called me.
And
That's
Monique
what she said.
was like, "What we talking about? What we talking about? Whoopi?
She probably would have.
What's the conversation that we gonna have that you
She
gonna pay
probably
me
could have
this?
hit her
any
on
bit
how
of
you
money,
go into the
You're not gonna
boardroom
pay
and
me
talk.
no
She
more."
probably would have hit her and told her how you need to
They
go
ripped
in
her
it,
off.
how you need to go in
Lee
that
Daniels
boardroom and
ripped
talk.
her
Look, you want the money. This is the offer that's on the table. But you can't come to these
But
people.
here again,
come to these people. You want all these millions of dollars. out of them.
I'm
You
not
can't
talking about the Netflix deal. I'm still on Lee Daniels because that's when the
Because she
rumor
didn't do what Lee Daniels asked her to do, which was go out and promote that movie.
for no money.
Right. And just like somebody else said, I'm trying to think of who it was. One of them stars said, when you do your contract to do a movie, you already know there's a certain amount of promotions that you have to do.
Mhm.
Point blank to the period.
She said
You
it
have-
wasn't. She
you
said it wasn't a part of it.
I don't know about that.
That's what she said. Now I saw her watched her tell a whole story on Charlemagne.
You ain't always got to show up angry.
His whole story, and I heard her out, and she made some valid points.
She did.
I heard the
Steve.
points on the same side, but why blackball her? Why go so hard like that and drag her all the way through the mud like that?
This
When
is not
y'all
her first
two,
go-around to rodeo.
Well, I haven't heard anybody else stand up and say specifically what situation, what issues they had with her. And
Almost everybody says
Lee
she's
Daniels,
nasty.
Lee Daniels just starting out. You didn't even pay Damon Dash his money, and you got called out on that foolishness.
True.
Okay, here go Oprah. We all thinking Oprah can do no wrong. Wait a minute, Oprah. Because why HBO stopped your little documentary on Michael Jackson? Because y'all got caught in the lie.
True.
Okay. So ain't nobody exempt, ain't nobody, we gotta put on no pedestals because ain't nobody asking her to clean that crap up, trying to mess with the king of pop. You had stations pulling his song and all of that kind of stuff because you didn't validate what the so-called victims had to say about when this alleged sex abuse took place by him. So everybody had that. Everybody had that stuff. Everybody had that kind of thing. I just think that they just went too far with blackballing her. You don't want to work with her anymore? Don't work with her anymore. Let her burn her bridges with somebody else. But then you're gonna put all of that energy and put your mouth on something like that for so long. You know how many years it was? Are you serious?
So Lisa said, well, Monique is constantly seen fighting with someone
that's
or
not-
something.
Did her not promoting that movie, did it even hurt the movie?
But that's not the
No,
only thing
but you did
that
it
was.
but the deal with that is not to blackball her.
Well, that's what
even-
they did, though.
I understand what that's what they did, but we just can't take it lightly that that's what some people are gonna do and hold on to it for years and years. If y'all don't want to work with her, don't work with her. If y'all don't want to promote her stuff, don't promote her stuff. But you're talking about for a decade or nearly a decade, you put your energy and you put your mouth on something to make it so
So like Steve
horrible
Harvey said,
and so
sometimes
terrible.
Monique, you gotta know when to be quiet
I
and know
get
how
that.
to play the game because it's not about, like you said, it's not about black and white. It's about the breed. It's about the money.
That's
so
understood.
sometimes Monique, be quiet.
But that's understood.
Like we don't always gotta show up angry. We don't
That's
always have to
understood.
do that.
But
Sometimes you do got to.
Jackie, that's understood. But that don't
And when you
negate
constantly
that
being nasty to people.
that don't negate them from trying to defame her for so many
It didn't.
years.
She still had her
For
phone.
she didn't.
She just wasn't doing movies.
She wasn't
Nobody
in
would
anything.
pick her up.
She
She
wasn't
still
in
did stand up
anything.
during that time. She still did stand up. Maybe she wasn't
It
making
was-
as much as she wanted to, but guess what, Monique? You got your own production company. You a boss. Produce your own damn movies. What? You ain't gotta wait for them to do nothing. You got money in the bank. Produce your own stuff.
She ain't got that much money.
I don't care. Make
They-
something small.
they
You
cut
got a
her
production
off.
company. That's the thing.
They
You got a company.
they cut her
Produce
off.
something.
They cut her off like she robbed them. For so many years, y'all didn't have, okay, so she showed up that nasty. So she was or whatever, and all this other stuff. Oh, she's hard to work with, but I'm only hearing it from them three. I haven't heard it from anyone
I've heard
else.
it before.
I hear Steve and Whoopi trying to justify and make excuses. You cannot negate the fact that you put this on her for so many years that it tarnished her. So yeah, her reaction now is gonna be what it is. Her issue with Netflix, hey, that's between you and Netflix. Like you said, Netflix pay you, what they gonna pay you, that's it, that's all.
Marcus, can you explain what that has to do with?
So Roseanne, as you know, her show got canceled, the whole new show she was gonna have because of some remarks she made. So what I had read at some point in time that Monique and Roseanne were gonna go on tour together or do some project together.
Yeah, Weez, I don't know what that.
So I don't know when that was gonna happen. I guess they felt like they were two people who were outcasts.
Who?
Roseanne and Monique, and they were supposed to be teaming up and pairing up and going on the road. Now, I think that would be funny because I can only imagine what the two of them would have to say. And I know Roseanne would still have a very big following. She still got her fan base. But I just think it was just taken way too far for too long. Let it go, y'all. Let it go. Cut your ties and
No,
let it go.
Monique need to let it go because she the only one keep
And
bringing
she
the
needs
stuff
to
up.
let it go too.
Right,
She
she
needs
need to let it
she
go.
needs to let it go too. And they need to be honest about what really happened. And that's what it was about. Okay, that's a bad business deal. You don't want to work with her anymore. Okay, cut it off and leave it alone. But it's been over 10 years, y'all. Come on. Lee, you got stuff to deal with Smollett and your show getting canceled now, and I believe it's behind him.
Oh, we already
And
said
that-
that.
in that case. And like I said, Oprah and that Michael Jackson documentary, a lot of people went in on her for that. You know, they just dropped it. They try to act like, oh no, we heard what that lie was. Some things did not line up with the alleged victims had to say. So y'all got your own stuff too. And now here go you, Steve Harvey. Now you luckily redeemed yourself after you read the wrong daggone name on the Miss America pageant, and now you're being replaced in two shows.
Because Steve Harvey said he believed the reason why he get replaced is because he wasn't necessarily supposed to bring Monique on there, and he did. And when he got on there, you know, white America don't want to hear you giving no advice to no black person about what they should and should not do with their money and how the money, you know, we don't play that game like that. We don't do this. Like, white America don't appreciate that. So he said, I messed my own self up by inviting her on my show. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have invited her. And we shouldn't have extended that conversation like that. Like, I shouldn't have kept going on with the conversation, but I did. And like you say, he ain't better. Sometimes God goes one door.
It didn't go with the whole format because they went long on that.
Because neither one of them was listening to what the other said. Monique had good valid points, so did Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
They both had good points. Look, I can't speak upon it because I ain't in that game. I don't know that game.
Mm-hmm.
I know middle class America. So the advice that he was giving to her is something for that class of people. Like, I don't know how you show up in the boardroom with something like that. And that's part of Monique's problem. She wasn't listening. She wasn't listening to other people that have been through that experience. She just wanted to keep talking about how she wanted to show up, how she wanted to do it. Yeah, we understand that, Monique. But listen to what I'm telling you. This is how it works in this business. You know, at some point, you gotta listen to those that have.
I don't even know why they set it up on their show to even bring up it. Move forward. Y'all had a chance to move it forward. Whoopi, you could have talked to her behind the scenes. Steve, you could have talked to her behind the scenes. The format of y'all show, especially Steve's show, was not for that type of conversation. Perhaps Whoopi on The View, maybe they could have touched on it a little bit. She could have just simply asked, have you all moved forward, made up, or whatever? If the answer, no, whatever, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. Move on with Monique and what Monique is doing, what she's trying to do with her career. There was a way, and there was an expectation that she could have, you know, moved that and changed that around. Now, some people are saying Arsenio. Somebody said that same thing happened with Arsenio.
Monique is not the star here.
When he put
Precious is the star.
Louis Farrakhan on his show, and Arsenio Hall got canceled for putting Farrakhan on his show. And he knew what was going to happen, and he said it.
But Steve ain't going to hurt for nothing. So
Steve
ain't no big deal.
Steve is going to move
Can
on
we
to
talk
other
about
things.
Precious?
He
We don't
still
talk about
got Family Feud.
Can we talk about
still got Family
Actually,
Feud.
Family Feud is not. He don't have Family Feud.
What happened to Family Feud?
No, but y'all want to hand me this and tell me.
Oh, but you ain't
to
said a
read
damn
this.
thing. So what happened
You
with
need to
Family
go with the
Feud?
story.
You ain't
too
said
slow.
nothing. Once again, nothing.
You said you didn't want to read it.
Right.
You didn't read it.
The Family Feud host. Family Feud really don't even have no new episodes.
See, he pretty not read it. He gonna say the Family Feud host, yeah, because that's not what it said. And they said he was off the Family Feud. See?
All right, allegedly, Precious is the star, not Monique. Let's get this straightened out first. Precious was the star of the movie Precious. Hence why it was called Precious. And not the woman that beats Precious ass. The movie was named Precious. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate you, brother.
Producers still have the right to pick up who they want. Absolutely, Lisa.
At the end of the day, if you apply for a job or a company offers you a job and you don't like the money that they offer you, don't take it.
And you have the right to negotiate. You have that right.
Or
You have a right to say
you can be
deserve
like
more and
Precious.
move on.
Yeah.
Or you can be
Something
like
else.
Precious could be like Precious.
And what?
Look at the big picture. And not just go for that one show, one big person. She been on TV for the last 5 years.
Who? Precious. Shut up.
Precious. You watch Empire?
No, I stopped this.
Now there was that. I mean, there was one person. I mean, Jada came to her defense, and Jada understood where she was coming
Who?
from as far as the money factor.
Who?
And there was some other female,
Who
Jada
came?
Pinkett. Jada Pinkett.
and there was
Who
some
was the
other
last movie she
female.
was in?
It was some other female actresses that
Who's the last
also
movie
talked
Jada
about that
Pinkett was
too. Especially,
Jada ain't gotta work.
But I'm just asking you.
Octavia Spencer, another one, Oscar being underpaid and all of that kind of stuff overlooked. And I think it started to look for people to look at, okay, well, who's getting paid and who's getting paid for what they were, who's being slighted, blah, blah, blah. And they talked about, many of them.
Black people who think like
Many
they're
of
not getting what they supposed to be getting.
No, it was white stars that talked about it too.
Always black people.
It was white female
who
stars
think
that talked about it too.
Walmart is
Oh.
supposed to pay them $22 an hour to stock the M&M aisle. No, it's not. Walmart is not going to pay you $20 an hour to put peanut chews on the shelf. I'm sorry. Black people, we got to pick better jobs. If you didn't like the offer Netflix gave you, go to HBO. Go to Showtime.
Create your own special.
Right, create your own.
Oh, you can do that.
Rent a venue, record your own joint, then you own all the rights to it.
Exactly.
It's ways to do things. You
Well,
just
it was
don't,
also newsworthy. I mean, we
you
gotta
just don't
think,
blow up
I
and
think
make
that
yourself
girl's straight.
we
look retarded.
gotta think.
Who, Jada Pinkett?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on another one. I can't wait. The first one was good. So,
First one really wasn't that good, but okay.
it
I
was-
really can't fool.
I did. I thought.
I don't care for a bunch of cackling women.
Okay.
Anyway, that's you.
Right.
That's you. I think a little, it was funny, but it was just a little
Funny.
too much cussing for me.
It
Like,
was,
it
No.
was too much.
I
don't
don't
say that
like
'cause
the
they women.
depiction.
You don't like
No.
all these women.
I don't like a lot of cussing in movies. I don't care.
I don't
who it
like-
is.
I sat and watched you. I sat and watched Stand Up With You, and you didn't have issues with the male.
I still think
as
it's
you
a lot.
did, as you did.
Me and
with
my mother
the female.
talk about it all
As
the
you
time.
did with the female.
I
No, that's
don't
not
like
true.
how
That's
they
not
do
true.
it.
I see people.
I used to go to
Women,
every
ladies,
single
women.
Kings of Comedy. You know, Kings of Comedy concert. You and me, Lisa from back in the day, all of us will always go to every time they come to Kings of Comedy. That was my one gripe. They be funny as hell, but they cuss too much.
I see
I
people.
say that all the
I
time.
see
Yeah,
people.
but laugh is
I
funny.
see people
But it's too much
cringe
cussing.
when it's a female stand up that's using profanity, using vulgar language, so on and so forth. But that's just my viewpoint. I thought Girls Trip was everyone. When I went to go see it, I mean, the movie theater was just overly packed. I mean, it was good. It's a good thing because we always see white woman movies like that. They get promoted like that. They get, they got the whole movie theater on live over the weekend, and some new movie we used to go flocking to. Then we got something that show us and we can identify with, that we can relate to about, a girl's trip. And, we've been on trips like that, or we know situations like that. So I thought it was a funny movie. I thought it was a good thing, especially seeing Jada and Queen Latifah together again, even though it's not like Set It Off, but they was together again, so it was cool. It was cool.
Set It Off is better.
I liked it. Well, that's a
Set It
totally
Off,
different
yeah.
type. That's a totally different type of movie.
Set It Off is better.
Totally different.
You can't
type
really
of
compare
movie.
the two.
I can.
One is
I like
a
Set It
gangster movie.
Better than Girls Trip.
One is a
But you couldn't really relate.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah,
like,
like
you,
Alley.
like,
Like
what
up
you,
your alley.
yeah, that's not your type. That's a girl flick.
Ain't your thing.
That ain't your thing. That's
I watch
okay.
Lifetime. I see a lot of chick flicks.
We
Because
ain't
that's
on, but
what
we
you
not
wanna
on
have
Lifetime. We're not on Lifetime. We're not seen on
Why you
Lifetime.
not on
as much.
Lifetime? It is
As
black
much.
movies on Lifetime.
Very
And
few. Very few on
Yeah,
Lifetime.
I got some good shows.
Very
What's he
few.
talking about?
Very few on Lifetime.
Shoot. I watch a lot of
Just
different stuff.
beginning to have some series on Lifetime and some of the other.
Look, this is
People
what I
that
say.
were-
This is what I say. Black people, create your own platform. Create your own platform. Stop waiting for this station, that station, this. You like Oprah Winfrey did? Go get your own shit, play your own damn shows.
They gotta have money.
Yeah, but you start small. When Oprah Winfrey Network started, it was horrible. She almost had a damn nervous breakdown, not thinking she was gonna make it. You gotta start small and then build up. It's like maybe they're gonna be at HBO. It's gonna be something like a Baltimore County Public Schools Network. I mean, but you start somewhere.
But some
Start,
people
stop
also,
complaining.
but some people also do things so it can be newsworthy. Some people do things for those reasons. Some people do those things just so they can get the story out, just so they can get, publicity behind it, just so their name can be said. So everybody has an angle, around that.
So Tanika said she does cringe because we wasn't brought up like that, and I am more used to men using vulgar language than women.
Well, I don't want to hear men, not just vulgar language, but the degrading of women within their comedy. And sometimes it is completely degrading and trashy, horrible, not even funny.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna
Not
compare
even
the
funny.
vulgarity between men and women comments and degrees. We'll be
Okay.
back in 5.
All right.
Yeah. You may not have been brought up like that, but some of them, and some of the stuff that they say.
You just opened up a can of worms.
What?
Talking about men comedians and how they degrade women.
What?
Are you sure you want to go this route?
I want to go there. I want to hear it.
Are you sure?
Some do.
Let's do it.
It's a lot of old school black female comedians whose careers only came about because they threw shade back at men.
They needed to compete. I love some more.
No, she's a nasty.
Yes, I love
She's
you
a
some
nasty
more.
filth.
Wash your
Daggone
hands when
right.
you come out the bathroom.
No, I'm filthy like
Your
this.
nasty ass self.
She's a nasty filth mouth right there. I can't get with her. So, and I don't think she's funny. She don't be funny.
What's a filth smell?
Her.
It's got a filth smell.
Tia, tell your husband leave me alone. He's sending me inbox messages.
Then call Pete.
Talking about he saw me yesterday getting that church nap in church. Get your husband, Tia.
Publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. We handle everything. Editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel...
Girl, I didn't even know I had fell asleep, Tia.
Special work.
I did not even know I fell asleep.
And want to get it published. Call Page Publishing
I
now
was
for
out.
a free author submission.
I'm trying to
kit.
think
Your
who
own
sits beside me.
conversation could very well start
Oh,
with a
Billy.
simple phone call. Call now, 800
We'll get, this to the side.
800 219
Bubble my lip.
8262. 800 219 8262. That's 800 219 8262.
What are you going to do with your old car? You could try selling it. You could junk it. Or you can donate it to Heritage for the Boat.
Oh, you are about
Your
to-
car will be tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks,
You doing her
and
comedy?
boats. Vehicle runs or not, you can be towed away for free.
I mean, some more. Let's say some more.
Oh,
Heritage
more
for the Blind
still
is a
flying
nonprofit organization
Yeah.
that helps
Funny.
those
I don't like
care of poor lives. Call right now to donate your car.
I do.
Courtney.
You'll receive a free 3D
Don't be inboxing me talking about how I fell asleep at church yesterday.
Call 1-800-639-8620.
I'm tired.
Donating is easy.
We had ate that good food. Oh, yeah, I'm
Plus,
sorry.
you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
That's what the lady sent me at. I didn't ask to go up there in the front. She took me right up there, but I was glad because I was right by the air conditioning.
From 9 till 11 p.m. or you on WMSK Online
What are
Radio.
your favorite comedians?
.com.
I got some
My
favorites.
favorite,
Just text them.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah,
That's
he's
my
not
favorite.
good. Not at all.
That's mine.
He not in my top
Okay,
50.
right. I was too, when you a walking zombie, and that was
Don't
John.
play this at the cookout, yeah.
Jello beats, holla at me.
Hey,
Don't play this at the cookout. What do you like this at the cookout? Hey, I'm going, y'all. Hey, I'm in there.
she got the invite.
I got the invite for the cookout. Hey, hot dog in my hand.
Who's you gonna play some good music
Woo!
Alright, welcome back to Between the First and WMSK Online Radio. Welcome to the show, Hollywood. Join the show. www.mskonlineradio.com. Looking for jazz, gospel, entertainment, fashion, Latin, Caribbean, community, and other type shows. If you or someone you know are interested, please send us an email to wmskonlineradio@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Needle Talk Radio, #WMSK Grind. Make sure you visit www.wmskonlineradio.com. Join our mailing list for updates, events, shows, and more. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at WMSK Online Radio. #WMSK Grind.
Your cousin, please.
And
What are you looking at right now?
that completes the commercial obligation.
So, Jackie, you said your favorite comedian is Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes,
I said
one of
Cedric
them.
didn't even make
One of
my top 50.
One of them. He's one of my favorites. I do like him.
You know, old school, I like Richard Pryor, of course. I watched one of his, this probably was from like the early 80s. And I watched him on stage. He was just, oh my goodness. Just funny, just everything about him was just funny.
Richard Pryor, yeah, he's funny.
Oh my goodness, I
He was
get
funny.
definitely Richard Pryor, and I also like, and who I think is funny, and I get what you're saying about not necessarily a clean comedian, but one that's not as raunchy or whatever. I like Earthquake a lot. I think Earthquake is really, really funny. Just take,
Yeah,
you know, regular everyday stuff and
He
really
is
had me
funny.
laughing. When I saw him a few years ago, there was a whole group of them. Him, Mike Epps, and
I was gonna say him too, please.
my
You said
stomach
Red Fox.
was hurt when he got up there and he started his jokes. Really.
Red Fox is
That's
funny
nice.
too. So who's yours?
Oh, and of course, wait a minute.
The Velcro.
Who?
Some more.
Lavelle.
The Velcro.
That's your favorite?
Oh
One
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Who else you got?
I like him.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
I like him.
Can't forget
I
Dave
like that.
Chappelle. Yeah.
I like what's the white boy's name?
Oh,
Owens. He's funny to me.
yeah, he's funny.
He makes me laugh.
He's funny. He's funny, but he's not like,
Mm.
he's funny. What's his first name? I forgot.
Gary.
Gary Owen.
He's funny to me. He makes me laugh.
Okay.
Who
Who
I
y'all
don't,
got?
who I don't like,
I got some more.
who I don't like, I don't like Chris Rock.
I love Chris Rock. Chris Rock is he up there. Chris Rock on my top 10.
I don't like Kevin Hart.
Mm-mm. He okay. He can make me laugh, but
He can't make me laugh.
He's annoying.
yes.
Chris Rock, bigger and blacker. Fine.
Oh! Cat Williams.
Chris Rock, booty
I think he is, I can sit there and just, when he did that presidential one, I could not stop laughing.
Now I
Oh,
can
yes.
listen to Cat, but I'm not gonna be like and like crying
Oh,
and
I
stuff.
can't.
I can't. I'm not doing it with Cat.
Yes.
When I watch him, I think he's funny, but he's not one that's gonna make me
Ricky
laugh.
Smiley is funny to me.
He can be. He can be. He can be. Some of his stuff is funny, but not. He ended up with, like as I couldn't be like,
Who y'all got that's funny? Tanique said Red Fox, Earthquake.
she said she liked having.
Who else? What's his name? From he was on A Living Color.
David Wayne?
From DC, the skinny dude.
Oh, what's the little short man?
He's funny.
You know what I'm talking. David, no, not David Allen Greer, the other one.
Tommy Davis.
Tommy Davidson.
Yes, Sammy Davidson.
He alright.
He's funny. I saw him.
I like David Allen Greer
For
though.
some reason.
I think he's funny.
He's
I
funny.
think he's funny.
I like Bill Witherspoon.
Mm-hmm.
His stand-up is funny.
I never saw him say
It's
that.
just
Stand-up
dumb.
is stupid.
Now, what were you saying? Y'all's very battle about what?
I just feel
I
like,
like badly went out.
I just feel like, you know,
Women cuss more than men
yeah,
stand up. I would agree.
they did. They did.
I think so.
They did. And they're more vocal.
What women?
Definitely some more.
But, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope I hurt your feelings. It's the black ones that do it.
Queen.
It's the black ones that do it.
What's
It's
that
the black.
for?
Cause you always want to make everything
Her,
a racial controversy.
Adele.
You African American
Who
women
else? Who else?
don't
was the queen?
know how
Monique.
what to say out your mouth as stand-up comedians. They don't know what to say out their mouth.
Yes, they did.
They don't.
That's why they're queen.
They don't know what to say out their mouth because all they talk about is what they put in their mouth. All they talk about is
I'm
sex,
trying to think about.
playing with the pickle, riding the pickle, kissing the pickle, everything pickle.
Okay.
And then they talk about how they have sex.
So.
And they talk about how they spend a man's money.
So.
And then they talk about, you know, it's just vulgar.
Courtney said Bernie Mac.
Probably one of the
Yeah,
best
one of the-
comedians.
yeah,
that
one
ever
of the-
lived.
Now that when we went to see Kings of Comedy, that's the one we was blowing at. We was like, all bent over. Bernie Mac, yes. One of the funniest.
Tanika says they do because they have more to prove, and a lot of them are coming up amongst men, so they feel like they gotta compete with the men.
But men don't always talk about fucking.
And not all women comedians do either.
They do. They
Not
do.
all, no,
They do.
They all
They,
don't.
I guarantee you can't go back in history and look at a black female comedian who didn't talk about sex in her routine. It just doesn't.
I can't name a black male comedian who didn't.
They do it all the time.
Exactly.
No, we don't talk about sex all the time.
I can't name one that never talked about sex in their stand-up comedy. At some point in time in your career, that's part of.
Yes, Courtney, I forgot about him too, Martin Lawrence.
Not every show.
That's part of.
Eddie Murphy.
No, you're not talking about every show. You're not talking about every show. At some point in their career, yes, because that's what people wanted to hear. That was the style. That was the way it was. Y'all remember that Comedy Jam? Not everybody that came on there used that type
The
of
women did.
vulgar
The
language
women did.
and talked about how they.
The women
did.
did.
Tamika, who
Maybe
you
they
saying
did.
they don't all talk about screwing? Who are you talking about? You talking about
women
men or
did.
women?
The women did.
Okay, so what?
They always have. Because they feel like that's the only way they're going to get noticed. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. The same way you want a man to respect you to talk about something a man can respect you about. You can't, I do this, I throw this, I do this to that, and something that I do it like that. And all the time, then when you get backstage, you can stand there with his pimple in his hand, like,
Well,
was you
that's
just-
what see.
was
Well, you
them
don't.
just jokes?
You don't understand the difference. When then you dealing.
Was
Here he go. But now
Was that
understand
real?
the difference.
was
Because
them
if you
just
stood,
jokes?
if you stood backstage and actually thought you was gonna be one to get some action like she was talking about on stage, then you a whole damn fool.
Was
The
them,
joke is
was,
on you.
was them jokes, or is you serious? Can you really do that with a pimple? Or was them jokes?
100% Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right, funny cleanest comedian, Bill Gadd.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Him and Sinbad.
Dolomite.
Dolomite. He
Dolomite
wasn't
is
clean.
nasty and retarded and funny.
Yeah, he wasn't clean. I don't think Dolomite is really that funny.
We already said Bill Cosby, fancy type so slow.
Leave mommy alone.
Yeah, I already.
Nika
mentioned
said,
Bill Cosby.
okay, here's one of our homegrown, just hilarious.
I can't stand her
You don't like her?
No.
Why?
because I just don't like
She's funny. And I think when
She's
we
not
say
funny.
that, you know, stand up on a big stage versus stand up on a smaller stage, you know, I've heard comedians talk about them having their preferences, or a comedian that is has a TV show or in a movie, or do sketch comedy like Chappelle or Key and Peele and David Allen Greer and them, you know, Wayne.
Sketch comedy is totally different than stand up.
Exactly.
You can't even put the two on stage. Like,
Exactly.
that's just like improv. It's different than
Mhm.
sketch.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll have totally different results. You can take people that do sketch comedy and they can't do improv,
Right.
and vice versa.
So do y'all think that was the issue that Tiffany Haddish had when she got booed off stage trying to transform from being on television? I mean, y'all watch The Last OG, y'all see it,
I didn't see it.
funny show.
Nice show. I like it.
You
'Cause
like
I like
it?
Tracy.
Because I like
Morgan.
Tracy
Oh,
Morgan.
okay.
So funny,
He's funny as hell.
especially on there.
He's funny as hell.
On there.
His stand-ups is funny too.
He is.
He's stupid. Like he's that retarded cousin at the cookout stupid.
He's funny. He's funny. He's funny on there, and they have a good, you know, chemistry on the show. So maybe because she went from there in movies and try to go on stage, and it just didn't work out, and she couldn't recover from one of them jokes and got pushed off the stage. Now it was during that time when another comedian, was it Cat Williams, that made comments about her
Pat.
not being funny, and why was she trying to do that anyway? And so,
he didn't say that.
yeah, she's not. He went in on her.
Yeah, he went on her. He didn't say that.
He didn't say she wasn't funny.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Now, who went in on Kevin Hart? Who was hating on him?
Cat Williams.
So
Cat Williams had a beef with Kevin Hart for the longest.
it was a short man beef.
It wasn't really a beef, but it was just like, you know, Cat Williams felt like he helped put Kevin on.
Oh,
And
is that where Kevin came from? I can't remember what the start of his thing was.
he felt like, you know, he ain't, you know, acknowledged him.
Oh.
So like, he kind of like been challenging him since the beginning. Like,
Really?
we'll do a stand up, bet $1 million. Who can be the funniest?
Cat was.
I think Cat Williams would kill Kevin
Yes.
Hart.
Cat Williams
I
was.
just don't. I think
Clobber him.
Kevin Hart's funniest stand up
Yes.
to me was his first one.
Oh,
The very first one he did. All right. That was
Yeah.
the funniest.
Yeah,
That was the
funny.
funniest thing he's ever done.
that was
Everything after that has been annoying as hell.
That was funny.
Like the last one he just did, I probably watched 10 minutes of it. Well, I think he was in France or something like
I
that.
don't think I watched it.
And I probably watched like 10 minutes of it and I just turned it off. Like, this is Kevin, why? And I was on the moon when I watched it.
Yeah, Cat Williams and Kevin Hart mash up.
I
Cat
just don't,
Williams would kill him.
I don't think Kevin Hart has the depth
Yeah,
that
he can't
Cat
handle
Williams
Cat
has.
Williams. No,
I just don't think he has the depth.
no,
You know what
no.
I'm saying? He can Cat Williams is retarded. And then don't let him get slinging that perm around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And,
sweating and curling on.
right. And his dentures loosen up on.
So Tanika says she ain't dead yet, y'all. She's talking about Just Hilarious. She says she ain't dead yet, y'all. She's getting her footing right now. And look at all of the comedians coming off of shows like Wild 'N Out, Chico Bean, and them. Y'all sleeping on how they coming up now. It's different how they coming out. I mean, they still do the funny bone in places like that too.
You know, Wild Now is funny. DC Young Fly, they crazy. They crazy. They can just
Now I think he's funny
roll it
as a
and
new
jump it.
comedian.
Yes.
I haven't seen him in no stand up.
He's funny.
That's
He
it.
is
I
funny.
haven't seen him in
But on
no.
Wild 'N Out,
Right.
he's like,
I haven't
it's
seen
a
him in
few
no
of them
stand-up.
on there that's
It's a few of them on Wild 'N Out.
It's a few of
I
them
be
on
dying,
there
but
that's-
yes.
Yeah, but
funny.
you talking about a lot of others not stand up comedy.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's
We
not.
some
It's
of
a
who's
difference.
funny.
It's a difference to be.
We know. We
It's a
know.
difference
We
to be funny
established
for
it.
30 seconds than to be funny
We know,
for 30
but
minutes.
still funny is funny.
Wow.
You can have that one punchline that somebody remember, you know what I'm saying, for that 5 minutes that you on stage for that Wild 'N Out skit, but to talk to somebody for 30 minutes to an
Yeah, that's
hour
difficult.
Take
and,
an art.
entertain
It's a
and
skill.
keep somebody's attention for 30 minutes to an hour, that's something totally.
And that's why
7 minutes is a long time.
I said that
9
with
minutes.
Richard Pryor and his records and his old stand up. I think that one that I watched was almost like 2 hours. I mean,
And you
and
know you skilled.
then
You can
Chris
do it
Rock
today.
to be able to do it for such a long, you on that stage, and let's not forget Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Probably,
Oh, my
I mean,
gosh.
Eddie Murphy raw.
That was an hour.
It was an hour, but it was funny.
It was.
All of it was an
I mean,
hour.
I remember Eddie
That
Murphy
first one
raw.
when he
Oh
went-
my
yes,
goodness.
raw when he wore that leather suit. That was the funniest one I've seen him do.
That was really funny. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Eddie-
she Tanika said to tell you they do stand up too because do your research.
I said, I haven't seen it.
He said he haven't seen
Pay attention.
it. Anyway,
I haven't seen it, meaning it hasn't been televised.
well, how she
Yeah,
seen it? She
maybe-
had to see it
Maybe
sometimes.
she heard him talking about it in an interview because they do stand up locally where they from. A lot of them do stand up at the comedy clubs in California and Hollywood, all around here. They all do that.
And
They
they like
all
it.
do that.
They like
But I haven't seen, when I say I haven't seen your stand up, I mean your special. Because to me, you've arrived when you get a special. When you get a special, you've arrived. Because somebody, whether it be
I guess you can say
Netflix,
they
whether
arrived.
it be HBO, or whether it be the people that did the Kings of Comedy. Latham Entertainment, whether it be them. When you get a special, you've arrived. You've arrived.
You can say
I
that.
don't know about all
You
that.
can say that, but there's some that
Did you know who
that
Kevin
haven't.
Hart was before he got a special?
There's some that haven't.
Did you know who
That's
Cat
very
Williams
funny.
was before he got a special? Other than Friday after next.
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
I did.
Cat Williams had been out for 10
I knew who Cat
years
Williams was. but
before
Cat
he got a
Hart,
special.
I
He's
didn't-
been out.
I didn't know who Cat Williams was, but not Kevin Hart.
Right.
So he did a special.
When you get a special, then you go out.
But you asked me about Cat Williams.
I asked you about both of them.
Right, and I said I knew Cat.
Went from where?
I don't know.
Where'd you see him
on
from?
YouTube somewhere. I seen him somewhere on my phone.
He wasn't on
Way
YouTube.
before.
Courtney said.
Way before
wasn't
he
on
came out in the
YouTube.
movie.
Courtney said P.
I saw him somewhere.
Courtney said P is
Okay.
funny, and then Courtney said some weak people having specials.
Yeah, some of them
That's
do.
it,
They ain't
that's it,
arrived
like-
just because they got a special. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
that's it.
that.
I think
Like, how she get a special?
Yeah, like the little Asian girl. She ain't funny. I'm like, how she
she's
could
not funny to you.
Right, to me.
Right.
Exactly.
Just like, that's why I said,
That don't
I
make
feel
sense,
like
but I ain't
if
seen a
you
since.
arrive when you get a special. It doesn't matter if it's funny to me or not. Somebody thinks you're funny enough to give you an hour and pay for it.
They write their own jokes,
You arrive.
and they present material to the supervisors, and they tell them what can air and what cannot air. So that may be part of the reason why Tanika is saying to Courtney's comment about the wax specials. And
Who weak, Courtney? Says she is weak. Oh, just hilarious. Still
Told you, she's funny to me.
why some of them, well, you know, men
Judge
judge
again, that's
men
too.
judge female comedians, you know, more harder
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
they do male
Not
comedians.
true, not true. I don't
They
think we do.
Well, name an unfunny male comedian, black male comedian,
Kevin Hart.
another, because it's just not Kevin.
Unfunny. Day Day ain't funny to me, but for like 7
Day Day?
minutes.
I don't even know who
Not
that is.
Day Day. What's his name? Mike Epps. He's only funny for about 7 minutes out of his hour
I like
comedy.
Mike.
Mike Epps is funny for about 7 minutes.
He's cute.
He's acting.
he you know what it is. He saves himself in enough time to keep the show going. Like he'll go off task and won't be funny for a minute, then he'll say something like, "I let the bar older women try to hit on me." Hello, my God. This is very true. He'll say something stupid that'll bring you back in. The whole time you've been playing with your phone while he doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So Courtney don't like Mike Epps either. William don't like Just Hilarious either.
You don't know who you talking about.
Oh, you heard him really have to
I think that men, we don't.
Y'all are harder on female on black.
It's not that we're harder on female
Y'all
comedians.
are.
We just get tired of hearing y'all talk about the same shit.
She don't talk now.
That's
She's
all.
one that don't, and she does sketch
But
comedy.
she's
She
not
does.
funny.
When have you seen
Okay,
it?
so
It's
Courtney
not-
said
it's not
Mike
that
Epps
she's-
is just funny in movies.
Right.
Right,
Mike
and like
Epps-
I said,
Mike
maybe
Epps
in
is
movies-
script funny.
Yeah,
He's improv funny.
yeah.
Like he gonna take your script and make it funny. That's Mike Epps. But to stand and talk to you for an hour and be funny, it's not Mike Epps.
I still like Joe Torre.
No, I think he is not funny at all.
I still, when he said that lady looked like she was kicking flour, that's like a classic.
I do not think
That's
he's not one
Comedy
bit
Jam,
funny.
because I like how he was able to pick on people in the audience and just go with it. That's
Whatever, Tanika,
that's a
because
good
we
one.
don't like Just Hilarious.
that
She's
was
not funny.
that was a good one.
Because she said,
Mm.
y'all
I
suck.
do think she's funny. I think she's funny. She's not funny like my stomach hurt funny.
Right. I don't think
But she's funny.
She's not funny enough to make me pass gas if I was home.
Well, I mean, we could say that about
Who do you like? So Courtney said there's some people that's funny in movies and some people are comedians.
And some people is sketch funny.
Yeah,
Like if you there's nothing wrong with being sketch funny.
it's not.
There's nothing wrong with that. You get a check, be funny.
funny is very
Be
good.
sketch funny. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, because people get these big specials and show them to get these big dollars, everybody want to go from sketch funny to stand up. And it's just not their lane. This is
Keenan
not their lane.
on SNL is funny.
Sometimes I be like, no,
Funny.
He's annoying to me.
His skits are he's funny and he plays
Oh, Michael
everybody.
Collins.
Yes, old school. Yes.
Michael Collins was funny.
Yeah,
He's funny.
he is funny.
He's funny. I'll go see. I mean, it's,
Mooney was funny to me, but he just got too militant after a while.
I would watch Paul Mooney.
Paul
again.
Mooney got,
Oh yeah.
he was funny as hell to me, but he just
I love it.
after a while he just got too militant. Like
Sick.
it was like laughing jokes, I'm gonna kill y'all.
Oh no.
But he is funny. I think he's funny.
But yeah,
What about your white comedians? Do you have any white comedians that you think
I
are
told
funny?
you, Gary Owen.
Besides Gary Owens.
I like the Spanish dude. What's his name?
I said white comedians. He said Spanish.
Because I don't have a lot of white comedians in my
So Darwin said he likes Corey Holcomb.
yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny.
What about
So William said, I do know who Just Hilarious is. Take me back to Def Comedy Jam when Martin Lawrence used to host. Yes.
Y'all gotta let that go.
A lot of
Let it
them.
go. Because it's been a lot of funny
Jim Curry?
people.
I do not think it's funny.
It's been a lot
No,
of funny
No,
people
not no Jim Curry.
since Def
I
Comedy
think
Jam.
Courtney.
Def Comedy Jam was the
James.
shocker because it put people together on one stage and it brought it to your attention that there was these young black comedians out here doing it. That's what made Def Comedy Jam so successful. But it's been way funnier people after that.
But this is
After
well,
that.
we answered
That's just
how
like
we were-
saying
who
the
they are.
OJs is the best group, male group of all time, and then here comes Boys Men.
But some
there's-
people do feel like that.
Right, but people get stuck in that time.
Yeah, I went old school, new school, male, female. I think who hosts the Tonight Show? Jimmy Fallon. I think Jimmy Fallon is funny. I think
Sometimes.
I think he's corny, and his writers try to make his corny.
I think he's funny.
Work.
He's been funny in other things, and I think who's the white guy from Alf?
From who?
Alf and Blades of Glory.
Step Brothers.
Oh yes,
Step
Step Brothers.
Oh, that's
funny.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
He's funny.
He's
Now he's funny.
asshole funny.
He's funny.
Like
He
he
is
he'll
funny.
make your butt pop funny.
He's
Like
funny. But like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe these people that are speaking about Def Comedy Jam maybe to them, they haven't found or heard anybody else that's funny to them. And that's okay. If they like Duff Comedy Jam and they like those comedians, that's their right. That's what they like. Because it is, I don't know too many that I would really want to go spend money for. Except maybe, Cedric. But he ain't new school. Like Cedric, I think he's funny. He cusses a little bit. He don't do a whole bunch over the top extreme. If Bernie Mac was still alive, I would go pay for a ticket to go see him.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the older ones, a lot of these newer ones, no, I wouldn't pay. Cat Williams is about the newest person I would probably go pay to see. But
That's
no. I don't think too many of them are funny.
I'm trying to think of some
Larry the Cable Guy.
white female comedians.
Tanika said Larry the Cable Guy.
he was funny when he came out because he had a catchphrase. Get her done.
Yeah.
He had a catchphrase. And of course he
I had you, Billy. I just
yeah,
said
little joke, he said a little joke and then get her done. And everybody was
I
like,
think there's some new school. Now I disagree with Billy. It's some new school people that's funny. You just not watching them.
he
They
said
are,
Tina
and
Doe.
like Tanika said, a lot of them that's on Wild now, maybe younger age, maybe not younger to the whole comedy scene.
Who is this?
But
Everton? Oh, get her down. Together, who's that? Shut up. Anyway, now what's
if
the
you
little
need
boy?
help with substance abuse,
We
sexual abuse,
had just said that.
please, God, what do you have?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Tanika, next time put the pound sign in front of it.
Chris Tucker funny in movies and stand up sucks.
That's Courtney.
Yeah, I like Chris in movies. And a lot of it may have to depend on, I think somebody else mentioned who's writing for them. This is their own material.
Right.
Is somebody else writing for them and they're trying to tell jokes
Right.
off of somebody else's writing, or
Because that could be a problem too.
yeah, I could see that as a big issue, a big problem.
So what's the conclusion? So do black men cuss more or do black women?
Women.
That black people
Women.
comedians, period.
Women.
Cuss too damn much.
Your mouths is filthy. Would you kiss your mother with that mouth? Because y'all just say some things that ladies should not.
Pickle stuff?
Pickle packages. Talk about the pickle. Everything. How you kiss the pickle, lick the pickle. All of that. Ride the pickle.
So?
Everything.
Men talk about the self.
I know you say so. You went all the way to South Africa chasing the people and got West Nile virus. That's why we missed 2 days here in the States. When we come back, we're going to pay some bills real quick, and then we're going to come back and see why Jackie bleeding and shit.
Oh, it's still some of that. Y'all have some.
We can tell knock jokes. I got one.
Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money?
I
Well,
wanted
think
Tina to clean that all out.
about
That's
this.
why
If
he
you
was
owe
on.
$25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your
They
minimum
can
withdrawal
try to
every
equal
month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are
between
you
men and
sitting
women
down?
convenience.
You'll shell out over 13
They all
grand
nasty.
in
They
additional
all
interest,
nasty.
and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's
All of them
Now
doing
it's
that.
your turn
All
to
of them do that.
by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll
Women, they have a lot of power.
do
What you saying, Billy?
We
What's that mean?
specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can't
Billy, what you mean?
reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you're doing fine. Then all all of a sudden you're having a tough time
Yes.
paying your family's credit card bills.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
you were down.
Is she from Turkey?
But you still owe 10 grand in one credit card bills, and you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to the Take a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of
I
debt.
had mine last week.
800-297-9142.
About this girl,
If
she
you
was
owe
doing
10
her parents.
grand or more in
She's
credit
30
card
years
debt,
old, down
and
in
you want to
Texas.
learn how
And she
you
called
can
the
pay
police for her
less
parents.
and get out of
When
debt
police got
faster,
there,
call
they
right
was
now.
police.
800-297-9142.
She said she wanted her parents arrested. So she said, why? So it's like, wow, what did they do?
800-297-9142.
She
Get out of
said,
debt
they
now.
woke me up this morning and asked me if I want to go to church.
9142.
Something wrong with her.
Picasso Cuts Barbershop, okay, 7171 Security
So they,
Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland,
police was like, man, we can't take your
Men,
parents.
women, and
to
kids, we do it
jail
all
for just
with a professional master
She
barber to
said I was
serve
asleep
you. Over
and they
7
woke
days a
me
week
up.
for your
And I don't
convenience.
appreciate them
Please
waking me up
contact
and nothing about church.
944 cuts. That's 410
How y'all gonna ask?
944.
Exactly, we just said that.
And then
That's
we
what I
like to
told
say,
her.
no, we don't like them shut down, I know, terrible. Don't listen to him.
Right, y'all
I mean,
listen
we
to
laugh
him,
at
y'all know how he
the
is.
same thing. So if it's funny, we laugh.
What I
I don't
said?
really think it really matters who cusses.
What I did?
She said, how you want action viewers what they like and then shut them down and say, no, they terrible. She said, that's terrible.
Hey,
It's what I told her. I told her. I said, that's right.
What did I ask?
You asked the viewers who's there, and funny, damn, they like it. Yes, you did.
You did.
We both
Yeah,
did.
I didn't ask nothing.
So what? You can't tell people, nah. That's who they like. Shit. So we need to know that one country and one dog. So Courtney said he laughed at something. He laughed at.
I laugh at everything you do. I don't know if I can laugh.
So I don't really think it matters who cuts more.
All right, welcome back to Between Friends on WLSK Online Radio. I'm Sherwood. I'm Good Morning Shoe. One of your hosts, Peter Don, in the lab with September Avenue. That's still learning about some things. Today's typical argument was family meetings. Who's worse? With the mouth. No guarantee of things, men or women. I say women. They say men. Because I'm already know it. Period.
Always more, y'all. Always more, y'all. But you know how we do with him. Ignore things.
I don't care if you ignore me or not. I don't give a damn.
We
You
know.
choose to do
We know.
yourselves.
We know.
I don't
And that's
care.
why we do what we do, love.
And guess what? I'm going to continue to do what I do. Like
So, yeah.
I am not, how the little Negro say, I'm not pressed.
Got any jokes? Who got some jokes to tell?
Nobody wants anything.
You ain't got no knock jokes?
No,
You ain't got no,
no.
there was
Boys and
a
girls, this is what you
a
don't
priest,
want to go.
an Indian, and
This
you know how people
is
would
what
start
you
those
don't wanna grow up to be like.
jokes over.
Yes.
But let me ask this.
Don't want to grow
So
up to be the
people-
lady that asks for a knock joke.
Simple. People tell all types
Some
of
people
jokes.
what?
And then there are also a lot of restrictions on jokes. Now, you know, Kevin Hart was questioned by Strahan over and over and over and over again. Did y'all see that interview about his joke about gay homosexual and wanting him to apologize again and again and again? And Kevin stood his ground. I'm glad Kevin did. He was like, I'm not gonna keep talking about it. I said what I said then, and I said what I said after. That's it. That's all. I'm just ready to move on. I mean, when you talk about a back and forth,
Look, this is what I'm
they went. Did you see that? Did you see that clip?
I heard about it.
They went back and forth, and Kevin
Why
kept telling them
we apologize to
same
gay people?
thing.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle.
Listen.
Come on.
Because you offended them with your
And-
joke. That'd be
and-
the same if a white
I don't
comedian
give a shit.
said the whole
I
N-word.
don't care. Guess what? You can say nigga, nigga, nigga all you want to around me. I don't care. I don't. Just like I'm not gonna apologize for a gay joke or saying I don't like homosexuality. None of that. Get the fuck out of like apologize. You coming out the closet, not me. What I got to apologize and shame myself for about who you are. That's some bullshit.
So how can you
Yeah.
say then, let's
Yeah.
draw the line, oh, that's too vulgar, that's too nasty, that's too much cussing, but you don't have an issue of people being offensive in other ways by talking about somebody's sexuality?
I don't care. If you listen, people will talk about you regardless, whether it's your sexuality, your career, what shirt you got on this morning, how your hair looks, how your shape, whatever. Your sexuality, because people talk about your sexuality, should not warrant a fucking apology. Why?
Because
Because
he was
somebody
using
say,
derogatory words.
we do it all the time to each other. Look at her red ass, because she likes me. Or look at his black ass. He dark, he black, he chocolate. Whatever. We do it to each other all the time. So if I say, well, look at his gay ass. I'm sorry. I ain't even call you gay. But you is.
That's what I said about Murray Bob.
But I gotta apologize for that.
Black women and they saw.
I gotta apologize for stating the obvious. Or because I said you gay and you is gay, I gotta apologize for saying it.
He didn't say that.
No, he
That was
said
the issue.
he don't like it. He was against whatever. Thank you, Kevin, for standing up and saying that. Thank you, I appreciate you. Because why is we tiptoeing? Why is heterosexual people tiptoeing around gay people feelings?
I just feel like if that's your life, that's your life.
That's your life.
Okay.
Like y'all don't have heterosexual jokes at gay comedy clubs.
Right.
You don't see heterosexual people go up in there and say, you owe us an apology.
True.
Come on.
It's comedy.
Why is we apologizing to gay people for
Everything's
joking them?
super sensitive.
But they can have heterosexual jokes and we ain't saying shit. You don't see heterosexual men get mad and saying, oh no, you can't talk about me because I like vagina.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Okay. Now
That's
let's shift
crazy.
it. Let's shift it here. Heard you out. Let's shift it here. When Kim Burrell said what she said as a pastor,
Kim Burrell, who's that and what did she say?
She's a pastor and she sings
she's
gospel
a
music.
producer,
They didn't
recording
she never came to your
artist,
church before.
director. She had the famous song that Pharrell produced
I
for
know she didn't come to my church because I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
She ain't coming to my church.
Mhm.
for
We don't have just anybody at our church anyway.
the women going in space. That
So
movie.
what did she say?
She had. I'm telling you, when you asked me
Get
who
to
she
it because we
was,
short on time.
then be quiet.
Hurry up.
So
It's a
she
long,
was
drawn-out ass story. You should
preaching.
apologize for that shit.
She was preaching, and based upon her beliefs, what she think, and how she feels, this is what she said about gays. It's not the will of God. It's an abomination. She's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, on and on and on. This is her church pastor preaching. She had the song from the movie. It was
She got
supposed to.
invited from Ellen.
She was supposed to go on Ellen, but because that aired, it went viral. Ellen found out about it. You can't go on Ellen. You can't, and everybody's all upset. Janelle
Is
Monáe
what she
upset.
spoke the truth.
Pharrell upset. Everybody's
Is what she
mad
said the truth.
based on her beliefs.
Based on her belief, she felt like what she was saying was the truth. Based on her relationship with God and her studies, she felt like what she was saying was the truth. Why should she apologize?
And I don't believe Kim Burrell
Right.
did,
Why should she?
but she wasn't
Who
allowed
cares
to
if
go
she didn't
on.
go on Ellen? So damn what?
So here you are, and I noticed how people's reaction was. You know, you had a lot of white evangelicals that supported Kim, and I love Kim. She bad, and I had, and there were a lot of people who were kind of in the middle. But I was watching how the church folk who loved Ellen and loved the Lord was looking at how Kim Burrell made that comment and the whole thing. And it was just interesting.
Shout out to Kim Burrell.
It was just interesting
Don't
how Kevin
apologize.
Hart was portrayed in Blue Over. and then the issue with Kimber. And Kimber,
If you
she
think
moved
about
on.
this, it's crazy.
She moved
It's
on.
madness.
What is?
It's just the world. It's just madness. You can't be straight. You can't be straight no more. You got to tiptoe around it. Before they used to hide and they want you to know who they was. Now they out and you think controlling you.
So I look at it
That's
like this.
crazy.
Why
That's
is this?
crazy.
First of all, why is this even a conversation?
And they're both
Okay, you
comedians.
came out.
Right.
That's your lifestyle.
Do you?
So
I don't
what?
think you should get no special
So
treatment.
what? Right. Okay, that's how you live.
No, they don't feel like they should get special treatment. They just feel that they should not be offended
They
in
want
such
special
a
treatment.
vulgar
And
way.
we out of time. So
F
if you're
word.
watching on Facebook, please
And
like
all
and
of that kind
share.
of stuff.
Instagram, like and share. YouTube, like and share. We'll catch y'all next week on Between Friends.